like you just heard.
Mi nombre es Jesús Flores.
My name is Jesús Flores, manager at the Rio Grande Farm Park.
Ahora me tocó hablar aquí.
It's my turn now to speak here. We're very delighted to have you here, having individuals from different organizations showing up. Thank you, Liza, for showing up. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, the entire team, for being here present. The topic that I'm going to be covering today is the collection and the importance of seeds, because this is a topic that perhaps you may say it's easy, like Jesus selected the easiest topic. It's also a very complicated topic. Nowadays, I think there's several farmers who, lots of us individuals who, we have gardens in our homes, and we go with the easiest route, right? There's some of us who, we plant different types of seeds, which are not necessarily our own. Our seeds are the ones that we have produced generation after generation. Our ancestors perhaps they suffered as well. They suffered in collecting seeds, selecting their seeds. The way that we do it nowadays. Now it's a lot easier. You can go to the store or get online and just order your seeds. But we forget about what it is that we need to collect in order for the following year. I've been a farmer since I was 3 years old. When I was young, when I was 13 or 14 years old, my father harvested nearly 40 or 50 to 60 acres. So I learned to work from a young age. My father, he had a huge mess in his seeds because he was not selecting his seeds. I became curious. We have two different varieties of corn seeds. One that had the white kernel, and the other one had the kernel being red. So I asked him, why don't we separate the white and the red ones? And he said, where did that idea come from? I just said, well, let's see what happens. Perhaps we can improve it. And it didn't last long. My father did do it. He did follow my advice. And, my father was a very stubborn man, with his beliefs, his ideas, and he would speak very loudly to us. I'm strict with my family too, but I've turned into a modern father as well, right? Bit of a pushover. So that's what my father would say. So in a time period of about 3 years, the corn seed, it was very beautiful. Why? It was a selected seed to the point where our neighbors from the community would go. My father's friends from other communities would go, and they would say, wow, can you give us some of your seeds, sell us your seeds? And in about 6 or 7 years, our entire region had the seeds that we were producing, the corn seeds. The bean seeds was also a mess. My father had about 7 or 8 varieties. He would cultivate some sectors of one variety, some of others, and I didn't enjoy that. At the end of the day, my father's had a variety of seeds for beans, Flores, which is a good, very well-known variety in Mexico, Rata, another variety, and we were able to improve it. The people were happy with it, and I wish to do the same thing here in the valley. For example, I collected the cilantro seed, right, and this is a collection from last year. But 2 years ago, when I arrived to the Rio Grande Farm Park as a manager, there were people who again, we had a bit of a mess. It wasn't too much, but there was a seed mess. There were people who were not picking up their seeds. They would just leave them there in their work area or their cultivation area. I would tell them, hey, pick up your seeds. They would say, well, I have no use for them. I would say, okay,
Pero
well,
se
if you
llegaba
don't
el
use
tiempo
them.
de ordenar las semillas
But when
y
it came
ellos eran
time
los
to
primeros.
ordering
Jesús,
seeds,
préstame un
they were the
libro
first
para
ones
ordenar
who
mis
were
semillas.
asking, like, Jesus, let me borrow books so I can order my seeds.
Posiblemente lo que no tienes,
And I would
¿verdad?
say you kind of
¿Por qué?
like to
Porque
spend money on
dejaba sus semillas
stuff you don't
en la
have,
tierra.
and the reason for that is because you're leaving
No es
your
eso,
seeds
no,
behind on the
no se debe
soil,
de hacer eso.
and that shouldn't
Bueno,
be
esta
done.
semilla es el año pasado.
So this seed is
Esta
from
semilla
last
en el
year.
frasco,
This
este
seed in
frasco
the
bien
jar,
cerrado,
this
en
very
un lugar
well shut
fresco. Esta semilla
jar
les
in a fresh
aguanta
area, this seed
entre
will
5 y
last
10 años.
between 5 to 10 years.
Si ustedes la pueden guardar,
If you
y
can
la siembran
store
de
it,
10 a 7 años,
and
la
you
semilla
can
va a estar buena.
store it from here to
Va a
10
cambiar
years
de
on,
color.
the seed will remain well. The
Al
color
tiempo
will
de
change,
sembrarla va a germinar.
but when it's time
Y
to
así
plant,
hay
it will
muchas
germinate.
clases de semillas.
And there's
Por
different
ejemplo, el
varieties of
frijol.
seeds. For
El
example, the
frijol
bean.
también aguanta entre
The
4 y
bean
5 años
also
la
can
semilla.
stand between
Ese en 5 años lo puedo sembrar
3
y
to
no
4
pasa nada,
years.
va a
The seed,
producir.
I can cultivate this and
Este
it
es
will sprout.
un frijol de
This is the bean
que
that
trajeron familias de Guatemala.
that families
Se llama
from
lengua
Guatemala
de
brought over here. It's
lengua de
called
dragón. Es muy
dragon
sabroso
tongue. It's very
y
very
produce
tasty,
mucho.
and it
Y es
produces
en
a
muy
lot.
corto tiempo
In a very
se
short
tiene.
time period, you'll
¿Verdad?
have a production of
Tenemos
beans, right?
espinaca también del
We
Río
have
Grande Farm Park.
spinach as well from the
También
Rio Grande Farm
hay
Park.
un agricultor que siembra
There's a
mucha
grower
espinaca
there
y no
that
recolecta
produces
sus semillas.
lots of spinach, and he
Tengo
doesn't pick up
demasiadas
the seeds.
semillas, pero hay
He
que-
tells me I have lots of
hay
seeds,
que
and I say,
juntarlas,
yeah,
¿no?
but we need
Para
to pick it
regalarlas
up
o
so that we
venderlas.
can gift it to other
Quizás
people or sell it.
se puede-
And
si la
perhaps
vende, se puede
if you
ayudar un
sell it,
poco.
you could help
Si la
out a
regala,
bit. If you give
posiblemente
it out,
más gentes del
perhaps
valle
more
van
people
a
from the
tener
valley
semillas de
will have
esta
access to
clase,
this
porque
seed,
aquí en el valle no cualquier
spinach
clase de
seed here in the
espinaca
valley. Because here in the valley, you know,
Y esta sí
there's
se
only a
produce.
limited variety of
Y yo he
spinach
sembrado
varieties.
como
This one
4
does get
variedades
produced.
de clases de espinaca.
I've planted
Y no
4 different
funciona,
varieties of
se
spinach,
muere.
and it doesn't work.
¿Sí?
You know, it dies
Aparte
out.
de que la espinaca
Besides
necesita de
the
mucha
fact that
humedad,
the spinach
se
needs to be in a
muere.
very
Yo no sé
humid
qué pasa.
place, you know,
Y
it
esta
does
sí,
die out. I don't know
me
what
atrevo a
happens.
decirles que sí,
And,
sí
you
se
know,
da. La planta
I want to
crece
say
de
that
este tamaño,
it does
ya
grow.
cuando
The
florea,
plant does
que
produce
echa
here,
semillas. Y es muy fácil
and it's
para
very
la
easy for
recolección.
the recollection
Estas son
of the seeds.
habas,
These are
fava bean.
fava bean
También
seeds.
son producidas en el parque.
They're also
Sí.
produced at
Y
the
es
park.
muy
and
noble la planta. Creo
it's a
que
very noble
aquí
and
en el
soft
valle,
plant.
si todos
I think
sembraran
that
habas,
here in the
todos
valley, if we all
produciríamos habas.
produced, you know,
Porque es
fava
muy noble
beans,
la planta.
the plant would
Poca
grow.
agua,
It requires
produce
very
mucho.
little water.
Entre
It
más
gives a
habas le
great
cortemos,
production.
la planta más produce.
You know,
Incluso si
it
no
the
hiciera
plant
frío,
produces
si no
more.
nevara,
If it wasn't
posiblemente
cold,
ya
if it
por
didn't snow,
noviembre, diciembre
perhaps by
tuviéramos
November,
todavía
December,
habas
we could
de
already
las que
still
sembramos
have
en el
fava
verano,
beans from the ones that
o
we
plantas de
plant
habas
in the summer,
sembradas en el
or
verano.
the plants
¿Verdad?
that we planted
Entonces,
right
les
during
digo,
the
es
summertime.
muy
So
bonito
that's
la
why I say, you
recolección de
know,
semillas, muy
seed
importante, pero
recollection is
saber
very
qué
beautiful.
clases de
It's very
semillas
important,
vamos a
but we need to
producir.
know
Hoy en
which
día,
kind of seeds we're
a
going to be
veces
producing.
compramos también semillas
Nowadays,
y no
we also
sabemos
purchase
qué
seeds
clase
where
de
we don't know
semillas hay.
the types of
A veces
seeds that exist.
Nos pueden vender
Sometimes they can
semillas
sell us
F1,
F1
o nos pueden
seeds,
vender
or they can sell us,
semillas transgénicas,
you know,
¿verdad?
transgenic
que no son muy buenas.
seeds, which are not very good in
Tenemos
quality.
que aprender a producir
We need to
nuestras
learn
propias
how
semillas,
to
semillas
produce our own
saludables,
seeds,
semillas
our own
criollas,
healthy, briolic seeds.
Sí. Y yo no sé
Yeah,
si
now,
conozcan o
I
hayan
don't know if
oído
you
hablar
know of or if you've ever heard of
que hay semillas F1.
about
Okay,
F1 seeds. Why F1?
¿Verdad? Bueno, las
Well,
semillas F1
well,
no quiere
F1
decir
seeds,
que
it
no
doesn't
sean
mean,
buenas. Son
it does not
buenas
mean that
semillas.
they're not good. They are good
Incluso yo
seeds.
siembro
In
F1.
fact,
Cuando no
I
encuentro
plant F1 seeds
semillas,
whenever I can't find
tengo que comprar
other
de la
seeds.
compañía
I need to
Onyx,
purchase from
Onyx,
Onyx company.
semillas F1.
I need to purchase F1
Pero
seeds from
la
them.
semilla
But
F1,
the
como
F1
su nombre
seeds,
lo dice,
like
nada
the
más es
name
buena
states
la
it,
primera vez.
it's only good
Si
for
yo
the first
siembro
time.
semillas F1,
If I
nada más
plant
la primera
F1
vez
seeds,
sirve.
it's only going to work
Si yo
for me for the
recolecto
first time.
semillas
If I
para el
collect
segundo año, ya no es
F1 seeds
F1.
for the second year, it
Son
will no
semillas
longer be an F1 seed, it will be an
Sí.
F2
Y no
seed.
esperemos
And
que las plantas
we
se
can't
desarrollen
expect the
grandes
plants to develop and to
como la
grow
F1.
big
Cuando
as
se
the
desarrollan
F1
muy
seeds.
pequeñas,
They will
dan
grow
muy poco
very
producto
small,
y el
they'll give out
producto
very
sufre de
little
formación.
product, and the
Sí.
product
Si es
does
calabacita
have formation
green
issues.
zucchini,
for example, squash or green zucchini, it'll continue being green zucchini, but it'll be very small and it could be deformed as well. We can consume the product, but we can't store seeds from the F1 seeds in order to make them F2. We can also have what we also have these what are transgenic seeds. I wouldn't dare to plant transgenic seeds at the Rio Grande Farm Park. All seeds need to be organic. I'm an organic farmer. Perhaps I don't eat 100% organically, but the period in which we plant at the Rio Grande Farm Park, I eat very cleanly. My family eats clean, and the people who I give out seeds to, the organizations where we donate to, they eat cleanly. They're seeds that are completely clean. They're seeds that I need to inspect before the individual can plant at the Rio Grande Farm Park. So at the farm park we do have two areas. We have an area for families where families are given, 1 to up to 5 beds and they can produce their own foods. We have the commercial area where we can rent out 1/4 of an acre or 1/8 of an acre. This year I'm going to be having 2 individuals with 1/8 of an acre, people with 1/4 of an acre, half an acre, and no more than 1 acre per person. Why? The reason for that is because the farm park is a place of opportunity. It's not a place where they ask for 2 acres. Well, no, I need to give out space to other individuals who are trying to learn or who are trying to produce, food to sell, to help themselves out, or to start eating more clean foods. So in the family areas, I totally inspect their seeds. Some of them do get bothered by that because they say, I want to plant potatoes. You're not allowing me to plant potatoes. Well, the opportunity exists, but they need to bring me a receipt from where they purchased those potato seeds for that company to be certified in order to sell potatoes or in order to sell seeds from organic potatoes. This year we're going to be planting potatoes. It's a variety of potatoes that can be consumed by individuals who have diabetes. Normally individuals who have diabetes can't consume too many potatoes. They will be able to consume this variety of potatoes without any issue. Transgenic seeds. The transgenic seeds. So it's a gene of 2 or more seeds. There are companies who have dedicated themselves to produce those seeds, and these seeds are definitely are good. They're seeds that produce high quantities. Their seeds, where pesticides don't affect them, because they're stronger. But the issue is when they're producing, when they're growing, and they're in that high point of their life, and they're very beautiful. They produce big leaves, and we know that we all know that they're mosquitoes because we all have a right to live from a small insect to a human being, and if insects eat the plants from these transgenic plants, they do die. So it's clear if a mosquito dies with that variety of plants, perhaps we're also accelerating our rate to die at an earlier age than what we would otherwise. I'm not against it, but if we here in the San Luis Valley, if we're, why don't we just say, we are taking care of the valley, or we're trying to do things in a good manner. So us to not plant transgenic seeds. I know that companies who do those seeds, they have patents, they have strong contracts with growers, but yeah, at the end of the day, they're the only winners, you know. At the end of the day, they're affecting our lives, and nowadays we need to be very cautious with what seeds we're going to be producing, what are we producing, what are we growing, what do we want to have. If we wish to have a few more days of life, if our younger generations, our children, grandsons, perhaps even our great-grandkids, if we want to get to know them, you know, we need to eat cleanly. And if not, of course, it depends on each one of us. But we do need to do that. I don't know if there are any questions at this moment. You can ask me questions as well. So thank you.
What is the name of the potato type? The potato that's good for the diabetes that grows high elevation?
¿Cuál es el nombre de la variedad de las papas que son buenas para la diabetes?
No sé exactamente.
Sorry, I'm not exactly aware of the name of the potato. They barely went and took it to me yesterday and gave me very brief explanations on it. But at the end of the day, if you can give me your contact information, I can get a hold of you tomorrow and I can let you know the name of that potato. So thank you. So can an individual use again the next year like those potato seeds that has been produced here, or is it necessary to purchase it from another place due to bacteria issues? No. For example, if you have your garden or your acre, right, your area, and you plant potatoes, those same potatoes could work to harvest them for next year because you know that they're clean. You produce them, and you, above anyone else, know what kind of potatoes and how it is that you're cultivating them. Well, I see that there are bacteria or viruses that can grow right in the potatoes, and they need to be purchased maybe from a region or an area that doesn't have these insects. Could we do that? Yeah, you could do that. If you have seeds, right, you do need to go use them up somewhere. So you do need to give follow-up to your seeds, because seeds, just like us, you know, they come generations after generations, and they do create stories. For example, this cilantro, if I sell, for example, cilantro seeds today, that's already creating a history. You know, the history of this one began at the farm park with me. If I sell it to 5 individuals, and if you then plant it, for example, in Salida, Durango, Cortez, or New Mexico, this seed, you know, it's history, it's expanding, and each grower, just like me, will say, I purchased it from Jesus Flores. Jesus Flores was the manager, or still is the manager at the farm park. So this is a good, clean, organic seed. Whatever's getting produced out of this will be clean, right? Anyone else with a question?
Do you still have, and are you still saving the corn from your father?
¿Usted tiene aún maíz y aún está, por ejemplo, produciendo maíz a su padre?
Sí, en México está toda mi familia, todos regados en
my family in Mexico, you know, they're spread out across different states from Mexico. The area where I grew up, where I studied, where I went to school for elementary and high school. One of my sisters still lives there with a few of my nephews, and to this day they're still conserving the seeds that my father left behind. So I dare to say that if I do go to Mexico, I can bring back seeds, and I do know the kind of seeds that they still have. They conserve it, and we're also from an area that's where it looks a lot like here. The one big change is that it doesn't snow there, but that same cold, with same elevation. I think we're about 7,000 feet above sea level. Over there it's about 2,000
no llueve.
800 meters above sea level. It's
Llueve
very elevated place. It
25
doesn't rain.
milímetros
It only rains about
por año.
25,
Es muy
27
escasas las
milliliters
lluvias,
a
pero
year.
cuando llueve,
Rains
la
are
gente
very rare over
aprovecha
there.
todo
But when it does
toda
rain,
la siembra
people
es
take
temporal,
advantage of it, and the
¿verdad?
entire
Tienen
harvest
que
is
tener,
very, seasoned.
hay personas que tienen
There's
semillas
individuals
que
who have
de maíz
seeds,
que a los
corn
40 días
seeds,
ya tienen elotes.
and after 40
¿verdad?
days, they're already
Nosotros,
growing,
la de
they're
nosotros era de
sprouting.
3
So,
meses.
ours was
sea,
about 3 months,
es igual,
and
aquí el
it's the
verano es de
same
3
thing
meses.
here.
Por
Somewhere over
ejemplo,
here
en
is
el parque
3 months.
sembramos entre
For example, at the
las
farm park,
semillas
we
que se
plant
helan. Yo la siembro
those
entre el 20 y el
seeds that
25 de mayo.
freeze.
Pero ¿qué pasa?
I
El
plant
año
them
pasado,
between
el 12
in
de junio,
May,
heló todavía.
at the end of May.
Entonces,
But last
todavía
year,
por ahí
even
nos
in
alcanzó.
June, it was
Hubo
still
quienes la
sprouting out.
sembraron,
There were
hubo
some
quienes
who
dejamos
replanted.
ya nuestras
There were
plantas que
some of
había,
us who just left it at
por
the
la
plants that
premura
we
del
had
tiempo.
due to
Y sí,
the climate issue.
para el
And
1 de septiembre,
yeah, by
ya el
September
harvest
1st,
debe estar listo.
the harvest
Ya
needs to be
hace 2 años,
ready.
el
And
9 de septiembre cayó
2
una
years
nevada
ago,
muy bonita. Qué bueno.
a lot of beautiful snow
Creo que
fell
la
on
nieve y el agua a
September
cualquier tiempo
9th,
es buena,
which is
pero
great. I think
también
snow water is always
tenemos
good.
que
But
saber
we also need
en qué
to
tiempo
be
sembrar
aware
nuestras
of
semillas y en qué
when
tiempo
to
tenemos
plant
que
our seeds
recolectar
and
nuestras
when
plantas,
we need to
nuestros
recollect
productos
our
y
plants, our
nuestras
products,
semillas,
as
¿verdad?
well as our seeds.
¿Alguien más pregunta?
Anyone else with a question?
Sí.
So I heard you say you use the term transgenic. Is that the same as GMO? And if so, I wonder if you could talk about how extensive GMOs are here in the valley and how they interact with natural and organic seeds.
Usted mencionó las semillas transgénicas, eso es igual a los GMOs, y si lo es, ¿puede usted hablar un poco de qué tan extensas son los GMOs acá en el valle?
Ok. Sobre las GMOs, no
Okay,
sabe
regarding GMOs, I wouldn't really know to tell you.
Oh, ya. Sí, la
Okay, so yeah,
diferencia es
the difference is
que las GMO
that the GMOs,
son buenas, son las que no, perdón.
so what you say referred to as transgenico in Spanish, he's asking if you're referring to GMOs in English. If that's the case, could you please talk a bit more about how a lot of GMO seeds exist here in the valley, and how is it that proliferation of there existing so many seeds, how are those affecting those organic seeds and proliferating through the area?
Nos está afectando a
Okay,
los que sembramos orgánico
it's
porque
affecting those of
como
us
lo
who farm
es más
organically, because like
ir a
I
la
said,
tienda
it's a lot easier to go to
o
the
meternos
store
a la computadora y
or
encargar
get online
semillas,
and just order our batches
en
of
línea.
seeds.
Nos ahorramos un trabajo de
We
estar
save
quizás
ourselves the
día
work
con
of
día
perhaps
estar
having to
estripeando nuestras semillas
working,
orgánicas. Es
day
mucho
after
más fácil.
day, recollecting our
Pero es mucho
organic
mejor
seeds. It's a lot easier.
Estas semillas que las transgénicas.
But these seeds
Las
are a lot better
transgénicas
than the GMOs.
tienen
Those
químicos.
transgenic, the GMO seeds, they
Están
do have
hechas
chemicals.
ya tienen inyectados químicas. Es un
They've
gen.
already been injected with
¿Verdad?
chemicals,
Y
right?
estas no, esas son
It's this
naturales.
gene, and these
Esas
ones
son
don't have it. These are
las verdaderas
organic.
semillas.
These are the true seeds.
No quiero decir que son malas. Habrá
I'm
quienes
not trying to say that they're
no les
bad.
gustan estas
There are
semillas
some individuals who will
y
say
dicen
they don't
son
like these
transgénicas.
seeds, and they'll
Estoy totalmente de
they'll
acuerdo.
incorporate the
Pero a mí
GMO
no,
seeds, and
en lo
I'm
particular,
okay with
a mí
that.
no me gustaría
But in
sembrar
particular,
semillas
me,
transgénicas.
I wouldn't like to
Yo voy
plant
100%
these GMO seeds.
semillas
I'm always going to go
criollas
100%
o
in the
semillas
favor of
naturales.
organic, natural seeds.
Sí, le queda claro.
Is that okay?
So could you talk about GMOs in the valley and how they're affecting organic seeds?
Puede hablar sobre las semillas transgénicas acá en el valle y cómo es que están afectando a las otras semillas.
Ok. No sé. Yo no sé mucho sobre quiénes
I
siembran
don't know
semillas
too
transgénicas
much about
aquí en
who
el
is
valle, porque sí, ese no es mi
producing or
trabajo.
who is
Yo
planting
investigar
GMO seeds here in the valley, because that's not my work to go and
si
investigate
es que la
who's
siembran,
farming what.
pues bueno,
But if
estoy
they
yo de
do
acuerdo. Cada quien
farm them,
siembra lo que quiere y
I'm
produce
okay
lo
with
que
that.
quiere.
Each individual can
Sí,
farm
yo
and plant, produce whatever they
me
like.
dedico únicamente al farm park
I'm
y
dedicated
produzco esta
exclusively
clase
right to the farm
de
park,
semillas,
and we produce these kinds of
comida,
seeds,
y
this variety
creo
of
que la
foods,
comunidad está contenta.
and I think that the community is
Está
happy with
contenta
that.
porque
They're
siempre,
quite happy
siempre
because
donde yo hablo, toda la
whenever
gente que va ahí,
I speak, or
¿qué
the people
clase
who
de
go to the
plantas
farm park, they
siembras?
ask us, what
¿Qué
kind of
clase de
plants are
semillas?
you planting?
Son
What are the
orgánicas.
seeds?
No
We tell them
tenemos
they're
posiblemente
organic.
una certificación donde
Perhaps
diga
we
el
don't
farm
have
park
like
es
that
100%
exact
orgánico.
certification that says the
Pero
farm park, plants
a veces
organic,
no es
strictly
tanto
organic.
la
But sometimes
certificación, es
it's
la
not so much
persona
about
que
the
está ahí, o las
certification.
personas
It's
que
more
están
about the
sembrando.
individual who's
Yo,
there,
por
or the
ejemplo,
individuals who are
yo me atrevo
farming
a
there.
decirles que en el tiempo de
I mean, I
que ya
dare to
tengo
tell you that
betabel, que tengo
in the
zanahorias,
time where I'm already producing
que tengo
carrots,
tomates,
beets, and tomatoes,
mi breakfast o mi
my
desayuno es
breakfast,
ir y
you know,
cortar uno.
I
Yo
just
comerme
go and
la
I
mordida,
cut
no lo lavo,
one out
porque yo
and
sé
I
que
just
la
eat
tierra
it
está
right
limpia,
off the
la
bat.
tierra
I
de
don't
farm
clean
park
it because
nunca
I
ha
know that the
venido
soil at the
químico,
farm park
ni
has
queremos
never
ponerle
had any
químicos,
chemicals. It's
no
clean.
queremos sprayar
We
nada.
don't
Yo
wish to
prefiero
spray
mil
anything
veces
on it.
agarrar el weed eater
I
y
much
pasarme 2 3
rather
horas
spend time with a
cortando
weed
la
eater
hierba con
there,
el weed eater
cutting,
que
the
matar la hierba
weeds
en
there
quizás
with
en
that
15
weed eater,
minutos,
than just
¿verdad?
spraying something and
Es más
killing those
fácil,
weeds in 15
pero no
minutes, which
queremos
it's
eso,
a lot
queremos
easier.
conservar
But
un
we
lugar
don't want to
limpio,
have that. We want to
un lugar
conserve a
donde
clean
la
area,
comunidad va y compra,
a place where
donde
the community
va la
can go
gente
and
y uno les
purchase,
dice,
a
hey,
place where
¿qué
people can
necesitas?
go
Un
and
puño de
you can let them
cilantro.
know. You can ask
Si
them,
me
hey, what do you
regalas, me
need?
lo llevo.
And they can say,
Claro,
maybe just a handful of
un puño de
cilantro. Will you
cilantro,
just give it to me? Yeah, of course. Here's some cilantro. Here's some
ya esa
beet
persona se
seeds,
va a ir a
one or
comer
two, types of pumpkins,
a
and
su
then
casa.
that person's gonna go
Pero
and
también
consume
si
that
se
at
le
their
olvida
home.
lavarlos,
But if
pues
they
está
forget
comiendo
to
limpio,
wash them, they don't have to
¿verdad?
worry because they are
No
eating
necesita
clean.
lavarlos.
There's no need
Son
to wash them
productos
or
limpios,
clean them.
son
They are clean
productos
products already.
desde la semilla
They're
hasta la
products
tierra,
who are clean from the
son
seeds
están
to the soil.
totalmente limpios.
They're completely clean.
Alguien más.
Anyone else?
Do you know if anyone in the valley is growing genetic or transgenic corn, because it's wind pollinated and it could create a problem for anybody growing organic or not wanting to have that cross pollination happen?
¿Sabe usted si hay alguien en el valle que esté cultivando maíz transgénico, ya que eso tiene un efecto acá por el viento del valle y puede afectar a otras variedades?
Bueno, aquí en el valle no.
Well,
creo que son las contadas
here in the
que
valley,
sembramos
I
maíz, y
think
creo que nada más es por el
the
elote,
ones
por el antojo,
they count
por el
us
gusto
for
de
the
decir,
corn
"Estoy
production
comiendo
based on the
un elote
lots.
de mi jardín, o
Like
de
to
mi
say, right? I mean a bushel. I mean a
Pero en
bushel
realidad
from my
aquí
garden or from my
en el valle no se dedica
my
la
area.
gente a sembrar
But
maíz.
here in the valley, people don't
¿Verdad?
really dedicate themselves to planting corn.
Nomás son papas.
It's
Lo que
really
siembran aquí. Hay
what
unos
gets
lugares
produced
donde
here are
cosechan
potatoes. There's some
espinaca,
places where they
lechugas,
they plant
zanahoria,
spinaches,
pero igual
lettuces,
no
carrots,
son orgánicos.
but yeah,
Hay que
they're not
ponerles
organic.
un poco de
They
químicos
do need to
para que desarrollen,
place chemicals
para
on
estar
them so that they
mandando
can
más
grow,
rápido al mercado.
so they can sell them quicker to the markets.
Aquí en el valle también,
Here in the valley,
vale la redundancia, hay muchos raccoon,
here in the valley there are a lot of raccoons,
los que sembramos maíz por
which is the
antojo,
redundancy, right?
sembramos
Those
una docena
us who
o una
plant,
cama de
corn,
maíz.
whether
Los
it's a
raccoons
dozen
son
or
dueños.
a bed
No
of corn.
puede
The
hacer uno
raccoons are
coraje,
they're the
¿verdad?
owners.
Porque ellos son
And one
los
can't
dueños.
really throw a
Ellos
fit
son
because
cíviles.
they're the citizens of this area.
Perhaps
Perhaps we as human beings we've invaded their territory, and in order to not throw fits or get angry, I don't plant any corn. And
los raccoons no anda uno solo.
raccoons, they don't go around as individuals in one or two. They're always in groups of 10s, or more. So yeah, it's not worth it. There's some individuals who say, I'm gonna go, plant some food for the raccoons. There's a family at the farm park who says, I'm gonna go plant some corn, Jesus. It's like, okay, lady, but don't get angry because the raccoons, they're gonna eat it. I mean, as soon as they get access to it, they eat it. So
Pero en sí para maíz comercial.
Yeah, for commercial corn in large quantities, I don't think anyone produces that here. Anyone else?
At the farm park, I know there's a lot of people growing really closely together. I was wondering if there's any problems you've seen with crosses, if you want to save seeds from something like a squash, and someone's growing a spaghetti squash here and a zucchini there, if you've had any problems with that, saving seeds and getting true to type.
Que en el farm park hay personas que están sembrando en sitios muy cercanos, ¿no? Y están tan juntos que pregunta si usted ha visto algún problema con la cultivación, ¿no? De algún tipo de calabaza, ¿no? Como el zucchini squash, el spaghetti squash, que ha visto algún problema, alguna nueva producción, variedad que haya surgido de eso.
No, creo que no. Sí,
No,
vemos quienes sembramos muy
I don't think so.
ejemplo,
There are some of us who do plant very close quarters. So if I have, for example, 10 beds, you know, the 11th one is being planted by someone else. But there haven't been any big details on that. I plant, for example, yellow pumpkin, bolita pumpkin, green pumpkin, spaghetti squash, acorn squash, or pumpkins for ornament purposes. There really hasn't been too much of a difference. Of course, when the plant is, you know, sprouting, the flower, the bees come, they collect their honey. It's just the pollination. I think that all the plants require pollination to develop and to produce better products, right? In a sense, I haven't really seen too many issues with that. And the park is a place where, you know, pumpkins grow in abundance. All the farmers who plant pumpkins, they produce large quantities. I remember that in 2017, I planted at the farm park for the first time. I didn't know too much about the valley's agriculture. Even though I'd been living here for such a long time, I never had the opportunity to plant here. But when I was given that opportunity, I planted approximately half an acre of different varieties of pumpkins. And I'll tell you that when an individual went to check my area, they told me, Jesus, you're not a farmer. Your pumpkins, they're not doing well because, you know, I planted them, you know, about 3 to 4 feet distances from one plant to another, and yeah, the space was very spread out. I told that person, you know, give me 15 days, come back in 15 days. That individual came back after 15 days, and, you know, the pumpkins were this size, and some were already starting to produce, and that person told me, Jesus, what did you add to these plants? Because these plants don't look normal. And to this day, there's an individual who asks me, Jesus, what did you add that one time to your pumpkin plants? Or what do you continue putting on them? Because the area that you're always planting always looks very beautiful. And I say it's nothing, it's just pure love for the plants. For example, in 2017, where I planted for the first time, I would arrive at 5 in the morning, and I just turn on the radio, my car's radio for them, so the plants can be happy. And nowadays, there's some of us who do believe that talking to the plants, that gives them joy, and it helps them develop much better. But if an individual shows up and goes in a bad mood, if they're watering them angrily, those plants will definitely not develop. They'll, you know, they will give fruition, thanks to God, but in that one time, in 2017, in those and from a half acre,
más de
I was
10,000
able to
libras
produce over 10,000
de
pounds
calabacitas.
of
Y
pumpkins,
eso es lo que
and
alcancé a pescar,
that's
porque
what I
había
was
días
able
que
to,
tenía que pescar en la mañana
needed to go in the morning and in the
y el
afternoon,
campo quedó
and
totalmente
the
lleno
area,
de
the field
calabazas
was filled with very large
y yo ya no
pumpkins,
las quise.
and to the point that I
Había
no
otro
longer wanted them.
agricultor
There was another grower,
Entre él y yo
and
llenábamos
between
el
him and
farm.
myself, we were able to
Había
fill the
en el
food bank.
una persona que nos
There was a
decía,
person at the
"Ya
food
no
bank
queremos
who
calabazas".
told me, we don't want any more pumpkins.
Y
I
nada.
said, well, what can I do?
Por buena suerte yo me comuniqué al banco
Thankfully, I was
de
able
La
to
Jara,
communicate with
y en dos
the
o tres
food bank in La
ocasiones
Jara,
llenaron
and
de comida de La Jara,
I went
calabazas.
about 2 or 3
El hombre
times to the
estaba
food
muy
bank
contento.
just to give him pumpkins.
Y hasta
The
hoy-
man was
hasta hoy
very
día
joyful
dice,
about that, and to
"Cuando
this
tengas
day,
mucho producto,
he tells me,
llama.
Jesus,
Yo
if you
vengo
have
y
an
te ayudo
abundance of
a
products,
conectar
call
los
me.
productos".
I'll go and I'll help you collect
Sí,
those
sí,
products. So
es bueno, es bonito.
yeah,
la
it's
agricultura.
good. Agriculture is very, beautiful, and
Realmente para los que les gusta.
really
les
for
gusta, ¿verdad?
those
Yo,
of
por
us
ejemplo,
who
soy 100%
enjoy
de la
it.
tierra. A mí
For
me
example,
gusta
me,
la
I'm
agricultura
100%
desde niño,
from the
yo he
soil.
sido
I've
agricultor.
enjoyed, agriculture
aquí
since being a child. I've been a farmer
Pero
since
¿por qué
then,
lo
and
mío?
that's why I stay here
Creo
in
que la
agriculture,
agricultura
because that's my
no es un
passion.
don. Hay gente
I don't
que
think
dice,
that
"No,
it's.
es que
I
tú
don't think
tienes
agriculture is
ese don".
a skill.
No,
There's people who
la
say
agricultura
you're
es
skillful in
una
this,
pasión.
but agriculture is not a
Realmente, aunque le
skill. It's
gusta
a
la
passion.
agricultura,
The
toda
ones
su
who
vida va a
truly
ser-
enjoy
toda su
agriculture,
vida,
they'll be a farmer
va a
their
trabajar
entire
en la
lives,
agricultura.
or they'll be
No
working
se
in
le va a
agriculture
dar
their whole lives.
otros trabajos. Ejemplo,
Perhaps
si el agricultor
they
se va a la
won't go for
construcción,
other workers,
realmente no,
like for example,
no.
if a farmer goes
La
to construction,
construcción es
well, no, that's not their world,
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Is there any other question?
Sí.
Yes, so you have a farm that is organic, everything is organically grown, and then you have your other farm that is non-organically grown, but they're GMOs. Now, how do you stop cross-contamination from wind getting into your farm, your organic farm?
¿Cómo puede uno detener la cross-contaminación de una granja no que es orgánica y de otra que utiliza los GMOs?
Because then it might not be so pure anymore if you have the seeds from the non-organic going into your farm.
Porque ahí entonces ya tal vez la semilla no sea tan pura, ¿no? Con el viento y eso que va del área GMO a la orgánica.
Bueno, su semilla puede
Okay.
seguir siendo pura.
Your
Mientras
seed
no se
can
mezclen
continue
las
being
semillas,
pure so
creo que
long as the
sigue
seeds
siendo pura.
don't intermingle.
Se
It
puede
can
seguir
do you think that it can
produciendo,
still
si su
be
vecino
pure and
produce
continue
semillas
producing
con
if
químicos
your
o
neighbor
químicos.
sprays chemicals or produces
Posiblemente,
chemical seeds? Possibly
Las primeras líneas,
the first lines with your neighbor may be contaminated, but then the following ones will be cleaner than the first few ones. So you would need to be cautious with that and collect only seeds from the following beds. You can collect the ones from the first few beds as well, but perhaps you need to tag them as having possible contamination with your neighbor's seeds, and just be careful to not mix those with the rest ones so you can continue producing healthy seeds. Anyone else? So, at the end of the conversation, we want to give you a test. Hopefully you can ace it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the bit of info that I had to give to you. Thank you so much for attending. Hopefully, my talk can help you out in some way, whether it's in your farm, in your garden, or whichever area it is that you plant at and harvest. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can find me at the farm park. I'm there at the farm park in the summer from 5 in the morning till 8 or 9 at night. You know, it's a very beautiful place. It's very beautiful working in agriculture, right? The day goes by quick, but you know, it challenges you as an individual, you know, like in being able to finish work early on and then going home to enjoy time. And that's the relationship that I have, you know, with the sun. Like, I need to finish these chores before this time, and then I always I'm looking at the sun. Sometimes it beats me, sometimes I beat it, but you know, that's always the objective. So thank you for attending, and
okay, so we've got about 15 minutes till the next talk. So if you want to go to the bathroom or get a bite to eat, Desi is serving breakfast.